Hello, this is John Livesey, Town Engineer, presenting on Article 12H, New Sidewalk Installation. The specific locations of the new sidewalks being proposed are Burlington Street from Grove Street to North Street for an approximate length of 4,000 feet. In North Street from Burlington Street to Adams Street, an approximate length of 3,860 feet. The driver for the sidewalk that is proposed was a petition that had been provided to the Transportation Safety Group, often referred to as TSG, requesting sidewalk installation along these roadway segments. This was the final petition request that's been received by TSG prior to the establishment of the townwide bicycle and pedestrian plan, which we anticipate in the future will be the guide for prioritization of sidewalks. Based on the petition, we are asking to advance this project beginning with land survey. The work that's been done to the date is the engineering division staff has walked the corridor multiple times, including taking measurements in various locations, helping us identify likely impacts and to evaluate the feasibility of sidewalk on either side of the road. We also spoke with several abutters along the corridor, either those that approached us during our walk or reached out to us at a later time. For more detail of the project, you can go to the Lex Media link that's shown here for the presentation that was given to the Select Board by the Engineering Division on September 23rd, 2024. Additionally, there's a public meeting on February 25th, 2025 to discuss the project, specifically designed to discuss with the direct abutters to the project. Impacts that were identified during the walk included but are not limited to tree removal, which is estimated at approximately 100. Some of those trees are town shade trees, and some of those trees are on private property. We also identified right-of-way limitations that will be requiring easements, although we won't have the specifics of the size and magnitude of those until we have survey at a minimum and get into the design phase. There'll be retaining wall relocations and retaining wall installations needed as part of the sidewalk work, improvements to drainage, site distance impacts need to be addressed, particularly at areas where we may be proposing crossings. Landscaping and screening will be impacted for existing homes along the corridor. We expect that we'll need to make some improvements upon the completion of the work to enhance screening that was removed due to sidewalk installation. There's also some environmental impacts. There are areas along the corridor where there are wetlands and floodplain. So we will do our best to minimize those impacts in those areas. And we also anticipate impacts to the Willards Woods frontage between the back of road and the large retaining wall, the large landscape wall that runs along Willards Woods. There's not enough space for a sidewalk, so we will likely need to relocate that wall further back into the Willards Woods property to provide space for that sidewalk. The timeline and next steps are as follows. If funding is received at this town meeting, survey will be beginning in the summer of 2025. We expect the survey to take several months to complete. Our next step would be asking for design funding, and that request is anticipated to be at annual town meeting 2026. If we receive that funding, then we will begin design the summer of 2026, and that will include evaluating alternatives that may be able to minimize some of the impacts or define what side of the road this will ultimately be placed on. We will, at that point, we'll discuss property impacts and easement requirements with the select board. We'll also discuss that with the property owners. And we'll be coming to a subsequent town meeting asking for funding for easements, if there's easements that need to be purchased, and construction funding. And that will be followed by construction of the sidewalk. Those dates are yet to be determined. It depends on how the process moves forward. We also expect additional public meetings and abutter meetings held as the project progresses. So in short, the request of town meeting is Article 12H and is for $150,000 to be used to survey Burlington Street and North Street for the purposes of a future sidewalk design and construction. Thank you.